Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the pre-market live show. Today is Monday, December 8th. It's already second week of December, just cruising along towards Christmas here. So let's look at the market and see what that's going to bring us today. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Here we go. Let's look at that heat map. There you go. It doesn't look too bad. It's more flat than anything. Doesn't really know exactly what's going on. Maybe it's all waiting around until Wednesday. Is Wednesday already priced in? And I'm talking about our rate cut right here, which is going to be a 0.25. Look at it. I mean, it is not changing, guys. 94% in 2 days. You're not getting a jump off the cliff. It doesn't look like it wants to anyway. So that is what it looks like. Here's your SPY right here. It's up a hair. I mean, like 49 cents. It doesn't look beautiful just yet. More flat than anything. So we'll have to see how things are working as they open up there. Luis Rodriguez, how are you this morning? And there's your Qs up $1.14. And again, they're curled up a little bit, but more flat than anything. This morning, anyway, just to start. IWM up. That actually doesn't look too bad right there. So we'll see what's going on with our SPY, our Qs, and everybody as the day goes on. Let's look at our Jolie's jumpers and see what they're up to. Here we go. BDRX right here was jumping up pretty big this morning. I saw that one rocking and rolling there. So there you are. Look at that setup. 625 to 1485. It's at 956 right now. So BDRX right there, not too bad. And Beyond, good old Beyond Meat, it's trying to get set up here. We're keeping an eye on this thing, seeing if it really wants to get set up. It's in this channel right here. We'll see if it actually does get curled up right there. CETX, this was running this morning as well. And look at that thing, 484 to 2049. Wow, that was a monster right there as well. And it looks pretty good, CETX. And I know we had looked at it recently too. So there you go. If anyone's still holding on to it, it was a good morning for you. And how about that FGI Industries? FGI, that was running up Friday, ran up a little bit this morning, 960 to 10. And now it's at 960. So not too bad. Not really pulled back too hard. And HWH was definitely running up last week. I remember this guy. And it just looks like it ran up a little bit with some healthy pullback. Nothing crazy. It looks like it's still setting up right there. And IBG is running up this morning. Look at that thing. That looks good. 226 to 305. It's at 291. It does look pretty good right there for IBG. And let's look at JXG right here. And that had spiked up Friday, just bouncing around this morning. And LICN, Lichen International. This is a China small cap. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. LICN. Yes, it is a China one right there. And let's see, it did spike up Friday, ran up a little bit today. So keep an eye on that. Maybe it tries to spike up a little bit more. And MIGI, Mawson Infrastructure. That looks really good right there. So we might want to keep an eye on MIGI and MTVA right here. MetaVia was running on Friday. MetaVia reverse split. MetaVia trying to run up some more. So keep an eye on MTVA. I'm going to pull all the reverse splits today, guys, and check them out because any of these down here, they are running like monsters right now. Let's get into these guys. Why they're still hot, because they are all popping. It is pretty wild. It happens sometimes. You see these patterns just take place. QCLS looking pretty decent as it run up recently. A little bit of healthy pullback, 2050 meeting up, not looking too bad right there. So there you go with QCLS. And TDIC is another one we had looked at last week, and it was trying to run up there. Dreamland. And on Friday, a little bit of run around this morning, nothing too crazy there for what is a TDIC right there. So TGIL was that Treasure Global. This went nutty on Friday in the after hours, and it didn't really run around as much this morning. But there you go. It opened at 60, got up to 68 in your FT5 right now for TGL. And TWG is that Top Wealth Group, and that did run up this morning, and it was looking pretty good last night. So keep an eye on this. I think I even had it on the list there last night in the night note because this thing was looking good, and now you can see why. 1120 to 1587. You're at 1051 right now. We'll see. It might run some more this morning. It looks pretty good, to be honest with you. And your VCIG right there is VCI Global. That looks pretty good as well. That was running up a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but doesn't look bad. And good old Wheeler, that was a reverse split that ran up. and it was just kind of hanging out there today in the channel. So there you go with your Joe Lee's jumpers. Thank you, Asian Joe Lee. Greatly appreciate them. Let's look at our SPY and big caps and all them guys real quick, see what's going on. And what else is happening here? Luis Rodriguez, you said Path wants to run up a little bit more. It certainly does. It's up there. It's still in the top and not looking bad. And MTGA, what is that one? MT Metavia, you said. Good old Metavia. Yeah, that went crazy. That was a pretty wild one right there off the reverse split. Got crazy. Progressive G. Hopefully, it is the beginning of a great trading week. As always, you know that. Progressive G and there's Sinez Tech. That's getting set up for sure. And what is our TONX doing? It was looking pretty good last week, finally. And now you have a little bit of healthy pullback, but I don't think it's anything bad. As a matter of fact, crypto is looking pretty good this morning. Bitcoin is back at 92 right there. I think it might have hit the 92 area. We got to see. 92 too. Yeah, I thought I saw it at 92 this morning. I was like, is that say 92? I thought so. And look, guys, exactly what I've been talking about. There goes your bullish channel. Did I not point it out there? I got to break down the video because I showed you exactly the way this thing was going to get set up. And here we are. Now it's going to run up a little bit, and then you're going to have your little pullback, and then we're going to get raw. And then we're going to get some big spiking candles coming in. And because the volume is going to start pouring, and it's going to get pretty wild for Bitcoin. Here's Ethereum right here, looking pretty good as well. And you can see it curling up, and again, getting into these bullish channels. I could see them starting to happen before they were taking place, guys. So Solana is a little weaker. It's actually a little crazier, to be honest with you. It's not spiking up as hard. You can see, look at this channel's coming out like here. So it's kind of odd. It's not spiking up as hard. Maybe, and again, this is what I was saying. It might not come off the bottom right here. It might just come off of one of these things and end up making your bottom like that and going straight up. Because if you start wicking up hard, it'll come right off of here, trend line. I could see it wanted to start making it. You just can't tell where it was going to come up. I told you I didn't think it was going to start off of here and run off of that one. Might not even start off of that. It might start up here and get wild. And that might be for all of them, to be honest with you. But you could just tell. And look, you could see Bitcoin's pretty good, though. I mean, that one's a pretty easy line going through. And Ethereum's a little weird, too. So that one's probably going to start off like Solana. So just giving you a little idea right there, just telling you what I was looking at. But I could see that forming before it even took place, guys. That's what I see on these charts. And I tell you, I can see things sometimes ahead of time. And, yeah, it's just, I guess, the years of experience. I have no idea, and I'm blessed with a gift. I say it every day, obviously, but I could definitely tell that they were starting to do that. Now, are they going to maintain it? Yeah, because Bitcoin, and remember I was talking about the 20 was going to start rolling up, and then that's when you're going to start seeing it really start to spike. So they didn't want to really get hardcore spikes. The only hardcore spike it wanted to get was into the 20. I remember I called that one perfectly, and now it's maintained it, just like I mentioned. And now you're going to start getting it to run up again. So that is what crypto looks like. That's what was taking place. And that's what I could see happening there. And yeah, so you have Ripple was pulling back. And again, these were in bearish trends. They got to get turned back around and get back into a bullish trend. Ripple doesn't even look like it tried to do it just yet, but it will. And here's Doge right here, and it's another one again. Like these alt ones aren't exactly doing it yet, but these alt ones fly up as soon as the rest of crypto runs, so you know that they'll follow suit. That's why it's not a big deal. Cardano started to do it, as a matter of fact, right there. Here's your Stellar just kind of hanging out. That's a low ball one. And Link right here started to do it. Chainlink's a pretty big one right there. And there's your optimism. And I'm pretty optimistic that it's going to all do what we were talking about. And it's getting into this bullish channel right here. So we'll be keeping an eye on it. But Bitcoin so far is doing what we said it was going to do. And now you're set up into this channel unless something crazy happens. And it looks like it wants to get into a little Santa Claus rally, perhaps, right here. I mean, the market's not jamming this morning, but it doesn't look terrible either. Here's your SPY. It's up a little bit more right there. Your Qs are up $1.54 right there, and your IWM wasn't looking too bad, and that's up a little bit. So not too bad right there. Progressive G. Let's go through our SPY Mag 7 big caps, and guys, and then we'll see what else is going on over here. And then I'll go through that list right there, Luis Rodriguez, that you have. So here we go. Let's rock and roll and see what's going on in our market here with our big caps. Apple right here. Here we go. Cute graphic, Dougie. CETX was a big winner for the 4 a.m. Warriors. I bet it was. Not done for the day. I assume that you guys were running that thing up there. That was a monster right there. CETX. Look at that thing. 320%. It went up to $20. That thing was a monster. And again, that's one that we've recently looked at. I know that. We've definitely looked at that a couple times recently. So that's why I said if you were still holding on to it, it was a good day when you woke up today. That's for sure. Here's Apple down a little bit, just pulling back some, but getting set up. It looks like Amazon trying to hold itself up into this channel, letting this 20 come down for it. Then it'll take it up for a ride. You can tell Amazon's getting set up right there. And Google was looking pretty good going into the weekend. It is down right now, hitting the MACD curl down a little bit, but we'll see if it bounces back around and what it wants to do right there. It did look good going in, I'm telling you. And Meta right here hitting the 50. Kind of figured it wasn't going to get through it with the curl up on the 20 just yet. So that might have a little bit of pullback right there just to get set up. And then your Microsoft right here, if I could type it in, there you go. Microsoft is looking pretty good right here. Look at this thing curling up, not looking bad for your Microsoft. And Nvidia is not looking too bad either. It's up a little bit. Another one, look at it. It's about to curl through. I think it was getting through the MACD. Yeah. So they have something going on right there. You can tell by that setup. And Tesla right here is down a little bit. So there you go for TSLA. Good old Tesla. Looks like it's pulling back to set back up right there. So let's see what happens with good old Tesla this morning. If it can drive right back up, it usually can, but we'll look. AMC just kind of hanging out here. GameStop up a little more going into its earnings. Not looking bad. Again, I had sold my options there. They're not looking bad, though. It does look like it's crawling up. We'll reassess it. That's for sure because something was going on there at GameStop. And then Chewy was pulling back, but it's up a little bit today. They have earnings coming up as well, too. One's that on December 10th. That's got to be Wednesday when we do our rate cut. That's rate cut day right there on December 10th. That's Wednesday. So there you go with Chewy. And then your Unity's been setting up right here and been running up. Let's see what it's doing this morning. It is up a little bit. Nothing too crazy right there. And let's look at Netflix. This is probably a great opportunity right here. That bottomed out Friday. I think I'm going to be checking out Netflix options because now they're actually pretty affordable, being that it's split, a forward split over there. And it did drop it down the price to $100. So that's where we're at. President Trump on Sunday warned the Netflix Warner Brothers Discovery deal may face antitrust problems and said he will be personally involved in the review, escalating regulatory risk for Netflix. So that's interesting. And of course, they're going to be one big monopoly if they buy out Warner Brothers. So it could be an antitrust kind of issue, and maybe the government doesn't even allow them to go through with the merger or the buyout. That would be pretty interesting there. Master Keys, how are you this morning? So yeah, that's interesting right there. So we'll have to see how they rule. But I mean, President Trump is for business, but again, I guess you can't have monopolies either because they know that the Netflix could then just jack up the prices on consumers and nobody will be able to do shit about it, or you're just not watching any of this stuff. And people will be still they may lose a bunch of subscribers at first, but the people, they'll find them back somehow or some way. And they'll just keep on raising prices. So there you go. And Oracle right here. This one's been looking really good, honestly. Keep an eye on it. I remember when we talked about it when it was right down at the bottom area getting set up. We should have been loading up on Oracle. It did look great down there. So I agree right there. Let's keep cruising right through. So that was your Mag 7, AMC, and them guys, and Netflix. And then we'll go to our semiconductors right here. AVGO, I did put that on the night note. There you go. It's up 2% right there. Looking good. MU looking pretty good as well. That looks looks like it could run up some more. So keep your eye on MU right now. And let's see what TSM is doing. That's up pretty big, and that looks like it wants to run. And SMCI has been setting back up, and that looks good. So these guys do look pretty good right now. AMD's been looking good, and I do like AMD. I have some AMDL calls right there. So let's keep an eye on that. It looks good. QCOM looking pretty decent this morning as it's been running up. Snow had been coming down. It looks like it bottomed out, so snow might be a good opportunity right there as well. And then let's look at PayPal. I think PayPal is going to be great going into the new year and into January. It looks pretty good. I mean, it's beaten down right there. It does look pretty good. Intel, this one had run up a little bit of healthy pullback. Looks like it's just pulling back to set back up, guys. So watch for that. And IBM right here slowly going up a little bit flat this morning. Nothing real crazy, but doesn't look bad. Or that's Dell. I'm sorry. Dell's a little bit flat. What do I do? Type in Dell and say IBM. I'm sorry. Here's Dell. That's a little bit flat. Let's look at IBM. That's actually down right there. That's setting up. I know it had been running up, and IBM setting up, looking pretty good. It's trying to cross through. I don't think it's going to really take a big dip right there. So could be just some healthy pullback. And the video looks like it just went a little more green. It's just up a little bit. I do have options on the video as well. I like that setup, and I'd mention that. And Palantir right here was looking pretty good going in. It's just kind of down a little bit flat. But Sophie had been dipping down here off the offering, and it's just kind of hopping around. It probably bottomed out, but I could see it's still dipping down. So you might want to keep an eye on Sophie for maybe a little more pullback right there. And here's your Marin Riot, and they're looking pretty good right now as crypto's setting back up and getting into that bull trend. Look at these guys. That's a bottom look right there, and they're trying to get set up. And that is your Riot. And then your Mara right here is in your 20, over your 20, and that one's maintaining it. So that's good. And Clean Spark was looking good after earnings, and that's maintaining it. So they're all just pulling back and rolling off the MACDs, run up and pull back. It's totally normal chart conditions right there. Not looking bad, that's for sure. And strategy should be up a little bit this morning. And I'm telling you, that looks really good. You might want to keep an eye on strategy. So yeah, I think crypto is going to get rolling right here. Usually when strategy looks good like this and it's about to get into the 20 and start moving, it should get cruising the rest of crypto because that's what it's based off of. And here is Robinhood, not looking bad right there. Looks pretty good this morning. And Coinbase, that's up a little bit, looking pretty good. And Bull should be up a little bit as well. And it certainly is right there. And let's see, Bull not looking too bad, just hanging out in that channel. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Data Vault right here. I was looking at that last night, as a matter of fact, Doge Mama 9, and that is getting set up. I'd mentioned that before. Yeah, I think that's going to get set up, probably bottoming out right here. Watch and see if you get that 160 area just for a quick fill, and that could be a good one. Good morning, Doge Mama 9. And let's see what else is going on over here. Oh, Space. That one's a pretty good one. We know that we've been liking this. Actually, it might have just ran up. Might have a little healthy pullback real quick on Space for it to roll back up a little more. And here's your Boeing in your channel, not looking bad. Boeing does look like it wants to run up some more there. So the market looks pretty good overall. DJT been getting set up here, and I think that's a good area. Good area. And that 1040 down here was definitely the bottom, and this thing's getting into the channel. So yeah, you're about to see the market run up here, and it does look like we're about to get in some big bull trends and keep on cruising. So that's a good look. Here's your Nike. It's up a little bit, and Lulu was looking pretty damn good going into today, and it is up a little bit there. McDonald's is down some, and we'll keep an eye on that. That just bounces around. It's not too bad there. McDonald's, not the food, but the stock chart. And Disney looking pretty decent there. Luis Rodriguez, better keep an eye on that one. Maybe we have some calls going back up soon, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. How about Rich Tech Robotics right there? That doesn't look bad either this morning. That's just kind of hanging out. We'll have to see if it can really get a push. It may just stay in this channel right here. I know Rich Tech was running up this past week, as we can see. It doesn't look bad, though, to try to curl up. Maybe it will try to run up. I mean, that 20 is coming up pretty good on it, so we'll keep an eye on Rich Tech Robotics. It does not look bad right there. And Serve Robotics right here was doing a similar thing. Yeah, they don't look really that bad right there. I mean, it's a pretty similar chart, as you can see. and they don't look terrible. So I must say they're pretty decent right there. Rich Tech Robotics and Serve Robotics, the two robotic ones. Oxy right there, down a little bit. ExxonMobil, but you know what is up really nice this morning is this DXYZ. Look at that bad boy jumping up, and we've been talking about that, and it's running right there. So there you go with your DXYZ, and there you go with the ones we look at. Let me see what else you guys have to see. Like I said, crypto not looking bad there this morning. So Bitcoin back at 92 area. Solana trying to jump back up into the 140s. Ethereum over 31 again. So that's a good look. And they are getting into that bullish channel. CETX jumping up. TGL, that jumped up on Friday in the after hours, kind of rolled back a little bit. BDRX up. And that top wealth right there, TWG running up there. So there you go with them guys. And let's see, MTG that was Metavia that we already looked at right there, and that one ran up big this morning. That was a pretty wild one. We looked at Treasure Global, and that was cruising around. And again, that was running from Friday, though. That went nutty on Friday, just kind of hopping around this morning right there. And then Top Wealth Group, that jumped up some more this morning, was looking good. And your CETX was rolling. We were looking at that, and that was in the 4 a.m. Warriors with Laptop Travel. Here's your HWH, not looking bad right there. And your JXG, what is that? That's that Lux Venture, IX Lux Venture Group, and that's trying to get set up right there. That'll be a pretty good one coming up soon. There, Luis Rodriguez and TSM definitely looking pretty good. All of them are looking good. Oklo right here, that's looking pretty good as well. So a lot of great setups coming up right here. And Ethereum, that one's not bad. That's getting into that channel right there. Like I just said, crypto looking pretty decent, so you can see that one trying to get set up, trying to get rolling. BMNR, this is another one. It's going to continue to crawl up with crypto. I did sell my options, but looking for different ones. REMX, that one looks really good right there. That's at Strategic Metals and Rare Earth ETF, and that is looking really good right there. And SATS is EchoStar Corp, and this one had been running up last week and just hanging out right there. So not bad as your 20 and 50 are meeting up. So good ones right there. Luis Rodriguez, thank you for them. And that's what the heat map looks like right now. Let's see what else. Path was going up, Metavia. And yeah, hopefully it is a good week there, girls. That's for sure. Let's see. Oracle not looking bad. And let's see what else is happening right here. Data Vault we just looked at. How about your Rocket Mortgage? That was pulling back a little bit there. Zach, it's up a little today. And here you go. You're going to get your roll off just like we were talking about. Friday was probably your bottom. It'll make a little base and then start to roll back up. So you should be pretty good if you're watching for any dips on that one. Just keep an eye before it starts going up again. And the Viking not looking bad right here. It's a little bit flat this morning, as you can see, but it doesn't look bad. I mean, it's pretty bullish, and it does look like it's trying to run up, crossing through the MACD right there. So that looks pretty decent, and that's what we look like. Let's see what's happening in our news real quick. Firm that called the 2025 nearly perfectly until a moment of doubt, now has highest S&P 500 target on Wall Street. Is that firm me? Is that Dougie Fresh Picks firms? Because I would say I called I don't know who called the market anymore perfectly. I mean, who called the Trump assassination attempt, everything like going in from the last year? Was that in 2024? I don't even know, guys. Actually, when did that even happen? Was that over a year ago? I guess it had to have been. Even 2020, I have no idea, to be honest. Now I think about it, I can't even remember when anything takes place. But now that I'm thinking about, but still, we call the market perfectly like every single day. I don't even think it's a question. I mean, I don't think anybody does what we do on this show. It's pretty wild. Anyway, stock futures drift. When was that? Hold on. I don't even remember when the hell that all took place. When did that happen? Well, no, Trump's been in for almost a year now, and that had to have happened before. So that had to have been well over a year ago. Yeah, that was well over a year ago. I don't even know, guys. Everything just blends together. Holy cow, that's pretty wild. I have no idea when it comes to like dates or like short term. You know, my short term memory is so bad. There you go. That's a little glimpse into. I really have no clue. It's pretty wild. Stock futures drift. That's why it's good that we have Chat GPT and a lot of internet, because it helps me out. I don't even know what the hell's going on. Stock futures drift and cautious start. to Fed week, and that's what I think. It's a little bit flat, but we do know that we're going to get that 0.25. I think it matters what else Powell has to say going in with the 0.25. We all know that's in there. Is it priced into the market already? It could be, to be honest with you, because like I said, 94%, everybody knows it's going to happen. So it could be somewhat priced in. I think we're just waiting to see what Powell even says right there. So anyway, let's see what's going on. Stock futures there. How the Fed follows this week's hawkish cut is far from certain. I don't know what they're talking about, but stocks hold ground as markets eye Fed rate cut, and NASDAQ futures lead gains. Indexes eye records right there. The biggest one was the election. You predicted it way ahead. Yeah, I called the election like a year, like months ahead, guy. I mean, I was so early on telling you guys Trump was it was gonna be one of the biggest landslides in our country's history. And then doing the with the poly market charts, that was before poly market really got crazy popular. I mean, now it's like everywhere because it's like these prediction things are like becoming huge. I mean, they're huge. They're in Webull, Kashi, all these things. I mean, they're like next generation. You see, that's how betting is taken, and obviously gambling's a huge market, and now it's all legalized, and you can bet on anything. But yeah, we were like so ahead of the game on that thing that we were doing the election, and then when we did the popular vote, that was the craziest one perhaps because it was 75% to 25%. Harris was in the lead that morning, and we came on, and just like this one, I look at it, I took one look at it, I went, well, that's jumping off a cliff, and this one's going to 100%. And Harris was up here, and Trump was down here. And as the day went on, this thing just curled down. It was like, loop, and she went to 0%, and Trump won the popular vote by 100%. It was one of the craziest things I'd ever seen, and I called it before it ever even happened. But then again, like I said, I told you guys for 3 months it wasn't even close. And again, we based it off the charts too, and then we even knew that Trump had won like a month and like 6 weeks ahead. The charts had completely changed. I had mentioned that. I was like, well, they're already factoring in the Trump win, and you could see the market started to run. Back in that January, I'll even show you what I'm talking about right here. Here, we'll go to it real quick, and then we'll get through our show. But yeah, back in or not January, back in like back here before he got into office, it started to take off. I remember here it started to run right here, but the market was getting real hot. Remember, this is when he was campaigning back here, and market started to get really hot, that's for sure. Oh yeah, this year was when the April drop we had, and then the market just cruised up. But yeah, right around here, we had already known that he had won. I mean, I was saying, holy cow, this market's already factored in the fact that Trump just won the election, and then he came in and won it right around here in the beginning. What was it? Right around here somewhere. I would assume that was the day right there, November 5th into the 6th, I would assume was the election day with that. And then it just kept rolling, and you had your April dip, and then we haven't looked back, and we're at all-time high still, guys. So there you go. That's the way the markets run. Why Trump was in office, but yeah, we were so far ahead of it calling things. But anyway, just a couple things we'd called out by looking at the charts there, and we call out we called out bankruptcies on companies before they've even taken place, and all kinds of good stuff. I mean, you could see it all happen on the charts. At least I can anyway. I know I'm a rare breed, and I know there's a lot of technical folks out there that are pretty damn good, but I never see anyone that can do what we do on this show. So I'd say we're in a different category. We're in a category all by ourselves. Let's put it that way. So there you go with that. And it is pretty cool that we can see things in the future from the stock charts and call them out perfectly. So there you go. How cool would it be if you had your own poly market based on what you see in the charts? That would be cool. Dougie's bets. We should do it. I'm honestly looking at starting to do like the futures bets and stuff. I think it's got to be kind of easier. I got to try it. I haven't really messed with it, to be honest with you, but I have to give it a shot because I have to assume, and like I explained to everybody, gambling, not that it's easier, but the psychology of it. And again, this is based on like a lot of reading books and knowing the psychology of these things, not my opinion. I'm not telling you my opinion. I'm just telling you what some of the ideas out there are, but they say gambling's kind of easier than the stock market. And the only reason there is they say that is because there's an end result. And in our brains, and this is why I tell you all the time, our brains are not wired properly to be able to trade stocks. We're just not built that way. You got to kind of train your brain. That's why we talk about the mindset and how to do things all the time. So that we have to do. But yeah, your brain's not trained, really wired that way. But so gambling tends to be a little bit easier because there's an end result. You just pick a team and then the team plays out and then you know if you win or lose. But in the stock market, it can go up, and if you don't sell it, then it can go down. So you could be up big, you could be down big, back up, down, down. And until you actually physically sell it for a win or sell it for a loss, the game's not over. So the game could go on for years and years and years. Whereas if you just bet on a game, that game was it won, and you either got paid out or you lost, and you knew the outcome of it. The stocks, you never know the outcome. They could go on forever. Obviously, that's why I say to lock in your profits, because I've learned that outcome could be anywhere, and you're in for a wild swing when it starts taking place. So yeah, just a little psychology we talk about a lot on the show. And Microsoft right here, what's it doing right now? Is it jumping up a little bit? It looks great, I'm telling you. Microsoft looks great, and the video looks real good right there. Progressive G, I like both of them, to be honest with you. They both look at that, crossing through. Both of them look like they want to get running. So there you go. If you record the shows and generate a transcript, we can maintain a list for the platform and measure performance fairly easily. That is true. With AI, we should be able to easily do it. I have to look into that, Luis Rodriguez. That would be so great. People betting on Dougie bets. That'd be so fun. And bet based off my chart predictions, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna start looking. I was one of the things going into the new year. I want to start doing more, or at least looking into it, as the poly market and stuff. Because again, you can pick the indices and stuff. It's like everything. I mean, you can say if like Bitcoin's going to hit a certain price in a day. I mean, we can tell that. Will Bitcoin hit something? But yeah, these things are. I mean, there's something for everything. What's the price of Bitcoin on December 8th? That's what I mean. Like that's pretty crazy right there, guys. Look at that thing. And yeah, it's pretty wild, huh? And today's the CSE. You can bet on if the price, what the price is going to be today, and what's it going to be? There you go, 90,000 to 92. That's what I would say it was probably going to be. So that 49% of the people agree. It's pretty wild, guys. I'm telling you, it's pretty so damn accurate too. It's insane. And again, the guy was explaining the accuracy just comes from people hedging bets. And if you get that many people hedging bets, you'll generally come out with the real outcome of it. It's kind of an interesting thing. You got experts all over the place hedging their bets. And then when you average them all out with all these people, it comes out to the actual real answer. How fascinating is that, guys? So that's what it's all based off of. And it is super accurate. It's pretty bizarre how accurate it is. So there you go. Futures rise ahead of Fed rate cut right there. And Carvana and energy deals in focus. Look at that. And then I do like this Dowie thing. It tells you everything going on in the morning. I mean, we should read this and give us a good idea of what's happening there. So there you go, everybody. I'm going to get rolling this morning. It is a Immaculate Conception Day or something like that. The kids are all off from Catholic school or private schools and that good stuff. So I have them home with me. And there you go. So you guys enjoy your morning here. We'll see what's happening, and I'll keep you guys posted in the Discord. So all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Thanks for hanging out there, Luis Rodriguez, and of course, Progressive G, Doge Mama 9, and Zach. Robin's on his way to work. Master Keys, how are you this morning as well? And of course, Laptop Travel, and Asian Joe Lee, and everybody else, Deep Soul Diving, and Joseph Levy, and the rest of the crew that hangs out. Greatly appreciate it. You guys enjoy your day, and of course, trade smart and lock in those profits. You could bet on the spreads and price targets. Yeah, that would be perfect. That would be great, Luis Rodriguez. We got to look into that for going into 2026. I think 2026 is going to be a huge year, guys. So like I say, if you're not in the Discord, definitely look into it. We're going to be destroying it. And I have a feeling it's going to be a good day. You keep an eye on this one right here. That one looks pretty good. So keep an eye on Kodak too. It looks like it could be looking pretty decent going in. So there you go, everybody. I'll leave you with that. So goodbye, good luck, see you later, and have a great day, everybody.